Hello, welcome to the Bill and Kelly Show, coming to you from Wildrose Brewing Company in Griffith, Indiana. And with us, we have some of the proprietors of Wildrose Brewing, David and Karen DeJong. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
By the way, that's Kelly down there.
Yeah. Whatever.
So, wow, we've been here all this time, and we've been so anxious to get you guys on, so we're kind of excited. Not only to talk about how this place started, where you guys came from, but also talk about some of your travels, because you guys are probably the next well-traveled compared to Kelly, which is pretty impossible.
We kind of focus on one particular geography, but
Yeah.
We only go Caribbean.
I mean, I remember talking to you guys like the week before last or so, and it was almost like a one-upsmanship. Well, we've been here, yeah, but Kelly's been here. And, oh, we've been there. Like, okay, I give up. So welcome again, and why don't you guys tell us where you're from, where you're raised, and how you came to start this great place.
Start. Go ahead.
well, basically, I was raised in Lansing, Illinois. Went to Lansing Christian School there, went to Leander Christian High School. Kind of stayed there until my mom and dad separated, and then moved to Linwood, and kind of stayed there until Karen and I got married and moved to Hammond.
And so I grew up in South Holland, Illinois. Went to Calvin Christian, Ileana Christian. Stayed in South Holland until we got married and moved to Hammond. We're both Dutch, which is kind of a...
Oh, yes.
I know.
Lansing.
Imagine that.
What?
I know that area was a lot of Dutch. I lived there back in the 80s.
This area too, Lansing and Griffith and everything, because I'm Dutch and that's where I'm from.
Yeah, and I mean, so much now, it's not so much Dutch marrying Dutch, but, we stay with tradition.
That's right.
Well, it's fine.
There you go.
Cool. And so, how, fast forward here, I guess you started out as home brewers?
Yeah.
Like in the garage, someone's garage?
Yeah, basically.
Well, various garages.
It was,
Joe does the ales, he does the porters, yeah.
Yeah, basically, it was myself and a few neighbors. We were enjoying craft beer, and I brewed kind of recreationally a little bit when we lived in Hessville. And when we moved to Cherville, I said, hey, I'm going to upgrade my equipment and start really, trying to refine my craft. And one of my neighbor buddies said, hey, well, when you order your equipment, just order some for me too. That was our partner, Ed Plychek, who's unfortunately passed away. But yeah, we were the first two, ordered our equipment, started brewing in his garage primarily because he had a lot of room in it. Then Kevin Cripple decided he wanted to get into, so I kind of sent him the link to what we bought. He got the equipment, and we all lived on Wildrose Lane, so we started calling ourselves Wildrose Brewing Guild.
Awesome. So, would you guys just invite neighbors over and have like a beer drinking?
Parties, yeah.
They loved us then. Now they got to pay for their beer, so I don't know if they're...
Not so much. You lost some friends?
Oh, no, they're still our friends, but they have to
You
pay
have to
for
pay
the
for
beer
the beer.
now.
Oh, got it. Oh, man.
After us three brewed for a little while, then Tony jumped in the game.
Tony and me, we had our initial brew together.
That's
Me
right,
and
I forgot.
Tony.
Tony and Karen did their inaugural brew together.
Yeah. Now, just getting into some of your backgrounds. Now, what did you do for full time?
Well, I do this full time now.
Oh, you do. Oh, you switched over full time now. Awesome.
I was before that. My degree is in business management, focusing in accounting. I did that. I also switched kind of between finance and technology management, and most recently was IT director for a trucking company in Chester.
Oh, wow. And your background?
I still work full time. I'm paralegal in Maryville for a law firm.
Wow. So if anyone sues you over a bad beer, you're ready to help out.
They would never do
Not
that.
that would ever happen.
No bad brew here.
I know people.
Yeah, you know
There's never been a
people.
bad brew. That's the problem.
Well, that's not going to happen here because I want to tell you, every beer we've had here has been absolutely off the charts.
Thank you.
And one thing I will say, since we've been here, I mean, one of the things that amazes me, because you guys are still classified as new, even though the whole craft beer industry industry is new. I mean, the thing that I find amazing here is the amount of selection you have is just off the charts. You have porters, stout, I mean, you have everything so you could come in here.
The best names ever for
And
beers.
plus, oh yeah, Shmori Povich, we love that
and
one.
Sasquatch.
We've probably given you a lot of advertisement on Shmori Povich.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is some of that is us, but a lot of it is the people that work for us that have pride in our product, and they want to name stuff. We have a lot of people that work for us that they don't just work for us. They're part of the lifeblood of us, that
Like
they
a
love us.
family.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so much like a family.
And you sense that here, like Sam. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
it's,
Sam's
oh my
awesome.
God.
Container.
So I
She has
thought
a
she
lot
was
to
one
do
of
with
the
the
owners.
naming of beers. She names a
Oh,
lot.
she does.
She does a lot of the artwork for the beer, the beer signs. She does a lot of that artwork.
And I'm telling you, every time we come in, she knows every one of those beers
Oh, yeah.
on the board.
And she knows everyone that comes in all
Oh,
the
yeah,
time.
she does.
too.
The
She's
unique
awesome.
thing that we run in here is the mixing. You know, she's like a craft mixer, and she'll say, "Oh, let me mix this and this
She
for
can
you," and it's
craft
like,
a craft beer.
Yeah, she can. And
Yeah.
she has
This
names,
and this
and
go
she has
together.
some creative
Yes,
names
she
for those
does.
mixers.
Well, in one of our one of the restaurants that buys our beer is Region Ale in Cherville. And when Steve Martinez used to hang out in here, Sammy would mix the Big Sexy and the Miso Thorny together, and they called it Miso Sexy.
Yep, I've had a couple of those.
So we still make that beer, and we actually keg it especially for Region Ale.
And they're the only place that gets
has
it.
Miso Sexy on tap.
And we don't even have it here.
so what I want to know, are you planning on coming up with the beer called I'm Your Daddy and mixing it with Shmori Povich
No, you're not.
and
the
selling it with a
You're not-
DNA
you're
test
not-
kit,
you're not
by the
the
way?
That's right.
Every pint comes with a free DNA test kit.
That's right.
We could do that.
That would be fun.
Just some hints. So why don't you guys run down the lineup for us and give us an idea of what you've got here?
Like what's going on right
Basically,
now?
the number one beer on the list is Big Sexy. That's our biggest seller. That's the one that we probably sell the most to our wholesale accounts. It's the first beer that we actually can. We still can that one. What's the second one up there?
Topside.
Oh, you can take that one.
That's my baby. So it's my first and actually only beer that I've totally done from recipe to the end. It's a black rye IPA. I really embrace the black IPAs and said I want to do this, and has a little bit of chocolate malt in it, but love that beer, and I don't think we've changed it since it started. We haven't changed it from the home brew, so I'm a little bit of a proud mama on that one.
Should be.
And then the next beer is our Dead Stars Collide. It's a New England style IPA. So it's, instead of being a clear beer, it's a hazy, kind of opaque looking beer, and then it's not as bitter as a typical IPA, a little more fruity, juicy, kind of present tropical. Yeah, it's uses Galaxy, Mosaic, and Eldorado hops. That's kind of where the Dead Stars Collide came from. The Galaxy thing is obviously a space reference. Eldorado is gold, and when Dead Stars collide, they produce gold and other heavy metals. So that's kind of where the name of that beer came from.
Okay.
He's a little bit of a science geek.
That's okay.
Mad Cow is a beer that
My
One of
favorite.
Joe's favorites.
Yeah.
That was a collab between us. It was my idea that people kind of shunned, but it's one of our biggest sellers, so they should have embraced my
I'm
idea.
telling you, I love it.
Thank you.
I'm drinking the nitro version of it now. So I was kind of surprised that I looked up there. I said, "Oh, I'll take a Mad Cow." Well, no, we've got
I
two
said, don't
choices
you want to
now.
try the nitro?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Why
that
wouldn't
one,
you try
the
it?
nitro is actually aged with vanilla beans too, so it's a little bit
Oh,
sweeter
man.
yet than the regular one.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
so my idea his execution.
Ah, there you go.
So that was her first attempt at being involved in generating the beer. The next beer we have is the nitro version that we just discussed of that same beer, also with the addition of vanilla beans. The next one is These Nuts, which is our peanut butter flavored porter. Another fun name. That is the second beer that we actually can. So that one is available in cans as well. We just put a fresh batch on tap. Canned some Saturday, so we have fresh nuts available for sale. And the next one is Morning James, which is an imperial coffee stout. So it's a little bit higher alcohol, a little bit fuller body, with kind of a strong coffee flavor in the stout. You want to take the next one, or?
What's the next one?
S'more.
Is S'more.
Oh, yes. S'more
Brewery. I really can't because I had no say in that at all. Sorry.
S'more Kovich
You
is.
can't find anyone that wants to take responsibility for S'more. No one's the daddy, right?
I can't even give the background
I would
on
gladly
that.
take credit for that name if it was mine, but it's not.
Do we need to get a DNA test
Yes,
kit?
we do. But that is a porter that has a cacao nib, so it has kind of chocolate notes, and then it also has marshmallow graham and a little bit of caramel.
Awesome. Oh,
So
man.
it's a really sweet beer.
With a side of graham cracker, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'll take the passion
Okay.
pumpkin because that is the one I love, which is what I'm drinking. So it's a passion fruit goza, so it's a little sour, and we did it with our friends at Windmill, our fellow Dutch family,
And the honorary Dutchman, Mikey.
and the honorary Dutchman Mikey was not. So it's delicious.
It's a little tart, has sea salt to kind of balance it, a little bit of passion. So it's
A lot of passion fruit.
Yeah, it's a real refreshing beer. The next one is our Children of the Thorn, which
What I
was
had tonight to start with.
an iteration of the Miso Thorny. We just changed the hops. We added Simcoe, so we call it. Sammy actually came up with that name, or Sammy, and I think it was Sammy.
Might have been Sammy Gerardo.
Yeah, but that one, kind of the Indiana Corn reference, Children of the Corn, the horror movie. And
Another movie that I love too. I love the
I
movie,
know, right?
so it's perfect.
And then the next one, Big
Big Dippa, that's yours.
That is a double IPA that has Galaxy Citra and Eldorado hops.
Wow.
And it's not a hazy, it's a clear beer. It's a little drier than the New England style IPA would be, and a little more bitter. Next.
Nope, then we're into cans, that's it.
And then we have our can product.
That's a wrap.
We have Big Sexy in cans, and we have These Nuts in cans.
Canned nuts.
Yeah.
And then you
Awesome.
also offer a cider.
What a lineup.
For
We
those
do.
who
We
don't
always
know.
offer
And
a
that's-
cider
Wine as
and
well.
wine.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wine,
that's-
which I love wine as much as I like beer, so I do our wine. I kind of pride myself on our wine. So I think we have a good selection.
You do.
And that is nice. You do have the cider and the wines for, the people that don't want to get into the beer.
And then we have root beer we brew it here. It's not our root beer. It's from Sprecher, but it's on tap here. The kids love it.
Yeah.
Kids are big fans.
I've got to say, one of the things that everything is so unique here, the names and the type of beers, you guys kind of remind me of Burnham in a way.
Okay. We love the Burnham beers.
Those guys are great. I
They're
tell you
great.
what, I remember they did a tap takeover at Franklin House, and when they found out I liked their beer, and this is right at their infancy, they just opened
Oh,
up.
I remember them back then. We loved them.
So, I'm kind of like a conservative-looking guy, and all these guys with dreadlocks are sitting at the table with me saying, so what do you like about our beer, man? And I'm like, it's awesome. I mean, it's unique, and it's like
They're
like
great
grandma.
guys, and they were probably about a year ahead of us, so we kind of, met at different beer events and, got to know those guys
Yeah,
pretty well.
they're
They're
awesome.
doing a great job.
We did a kind of interesting collab with them once.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. We did a really small batch. Rob and I did a beer that was called Don't Be a Jerk. And it was a brown ale with some smoked malt based on our jerk sauce recipe. We make a jerk sauce here for our pulled pork and our chicken wings on Wednesday and our tacos on Tuesday.
I want to revisit that. Like, Rob, if you're listening, you need to revisit that.
Every time I see
I know.
Rob,
We have to do it again.
One of the collaborations that they did early on with Forefathers was Smoke That Shiz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's put it this way. You don't want to stand too long in the Burnham's brew house if you have to get a drug test because you'll inhale something. No, you didn't hear that, right? Okay,
no.
We'll edit that out.
Didn't hear any of that.
They're fine, upstanding gentlemen.
No, we like
all
them
of
a lot.
No,
Yeah.
they're great. No, but the point I was getting at is it seems like that's a common thread between you two. It's like cousins. You have so unique the names, the going out there and pushing the envelope, mixing the hops, different combination of hops. It's just, and I'll go back to you guys have something for everyone here. And I will say one of the things that I find so amazing about this traveling a lot of the breweries is for a young brewery, this space is awesome.
Thank you.
It's absolutely awesome. And we love the artwork. You guys change up the
Thanks.
artwork.
Yeah,
Actually,
we
have
love that.
one of our friends' artwork hanging
Couple
up
of
here.
friends,
Dorothy
actually.
Graydon.
Nice.
And
And Dawn Diagnosis.
but it's an awesome environment, and it's one of those places that's laid back. I mean, everyone, it's like friends.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it is.
a buddy here.
We have so many regulars.
When we were kind of, planning our space, what we wanted to do was make something that wasn't pretentious, that was welcoming, that was comfortable, and just somewhere that we wanted to hang out. And it seems like that's resonating with the people that come here. We have the big outdoor patio when it's nice out, the overhead door that we can open. So we wanted to have a fun place, a comfy place to hang out.
Yeah, I know in the summertime people bring their dogs outside and people
Right.
are playing cornhole and all kinds of fun things out there, and there's music. And let's talk about the food here, which is phenomenal.
Off
That's
the
all
hook.
him. That's him.
The food is so good.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Portobello sandwich.
That's my favorite,
which is
the
his
portobello
favorite,
sandwich.
And then the Parmesan garlic fries, which are to die for.
Well, we have a small menu, but we try to make as much from scratch as we can. We hand cut our fries. We double fry them, so that they're
Crispy and yummy.
The sauces
really
are from
crispy.
scratch. We're not
Sauces are
using
from
a
scratch.
bottle.
We smoke our own pork for the pulled pork sandwich, for the Cuban sandwich. We smoke it here. For our pot roast grilled cheese, we cook the pot roast overnight with onions, carrots, celery, to give kind of the
mom's
experience
Sunday
of
You guys know I haven't had
And
dinner
the
yet, right?
tacos, the tacos are so
tacos.
good. The jerk chicken.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry here.
Tacos and then the fish tacos and everything.
Oh, and the
Well,
wings.
and leading
The
into our
wings are
next
out there,
travel
too.
segment, the
Yeah,
jerk
those-
comes from Jamaica.
That's right.
We
He's
kind of did
beat
that
it up.
after
I mean,
the
he's
local
changed it a little bit, but
Wing Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they hit me up and said, "Hey, can you do some wings?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah, we'll do it. We'll make Wing Wednesday." So we smoke our wings, then we flash fry them, and we toss them in our jerk sauce that we make here.
That's the ones we had. The jerk sauce, that was awesome. It's nice. It's how they're done. They're nice and thin, crispy layer on the outside, but they're so moist. Awesome. And the jerk sauce on the outside. Oh. Did I tell you I haven't had dinner yet? I'm making myself hungry. Totally hungry here. Oh man. We better wrap this up so I get
I
something
know.
to
I mean,
eat.
I can bring you some
Oh,
food
man.
now. I mean, if you want food.
No. I'm good. But the other thing is that we constantly mention on the show. One awesome thing is every Thursday, kids eat free with an entree for adults, right?
Yep.
That
And
is
it's
awesome.
$1 off pints and wine.
Well, that's right. That's right.
And it's totally a kid-friendly venue. I mean, they've got the bar up around here. That obviously, for laws, you've got to have the border up around the bar. But there's a lot of places, and the kids can go around here. The outside when it's warmer. but inside. And the entertainment, you guys have quite a few bands coming in and out.
Yeah, Friday nights.
Every Friday and some Saturdays we have live music, local bands. You know that some play original music, some play covers, but they're all fun, entertaining bands.
Well, and some that travel a little bit. So we have some kind of big name bands that come in through.
This weekend
Band.
we have Corey Dennison Band playing, which is a really, really talented blues band. They play a bunch of big blues clubs in the city as well as
and Europe.
Travel Europe. And
when are they going to be here?
This Friday.
This Friday.
Yep.
Oh man.
8 to 11.
Oh man.
And Corey does a great show. He'll walk through the crowd. Sometimes you'll see him walking along the bar playing guitar. Wow. He doesn't even need a microphone because his voice is booming. He's awesome.
Yeah, so it's one of the folks, if you haven't been here yet, boy, this is one of the ones that makes Bill and Kelly's list, definitely.
Yes.
Not only, and we got to tell you, we appreciate you guys letting us do the show from here.
No, we appreciate you guys coming in here and doing it.
It's been great. It's been a great partnership, and everyone has just been more than welcoming to us. And and then we have some people come up to us and say, "What are you guys doing here?" we're sun tanning. Don't block our light.
Exactly.
Need to get the sun on.
Yeah, it's a great venue. Great, and we always appreciate we serve beer to our guests, and
We always
quite a few of them are shocked. It's like Michael Fuente. He was like, "Gosh, I don't think," and he's a media guy, and he goes, "I don't think anyone's ever served me beer while I've been interviewed." Well, only
one of the perks.
Yeah, one of the perks. Yep.
It's a perk.
So now let's talk about travel, because you guys are well traveled.
Well, we're well traveled in the Caribbean. We always say Europe, but then the beach calls us home, and so we go back.
I understand that feeling.
But didn't Australia, or am I wrong?
No, Jamaica. So Jamaica is our first love. We did not want to go there. Our travel agent actually talked us into it as
Back in the day
our
when you had travel
honeymoon.
agents.
We said we didn't want to go. Talked us into it. We've been there. We've been to Jamaica between 20 and 22 times.
Oh wow!
Different parts of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Love it. Our son has Bob Marley's middle name, Nesta.
Wow, you guys are committed to the Jamaican experience.
It's a beautiful country. The people are so awesome.
Now you begin understanding the free-spirited naming of the beers here.
Yeah.
And our kid free spirits.
This last summer it was our favorite trip. We went to the south coast of Jamaica to a small fishing village. Showed our son. We're like, there's not a whole lot there. There's sand, beach, and waves, and that's it.
What else do you need?
He loved it.
Yeah.
The people, it's a small fishing village. Everybody knows everybody and embraced us, and we made so many friends. It was a great experience for us as well as him.
It was all small, locally owned business as opposed to, big hotel companies and things like that. So, the hotel we stayed at was not an all-inclusive hotel. So we went out, we had, breakfast at some 70-year-old guy that used to be a fisherman that's retired.
Oh, wow.
Has a little restaurant now.
Yeah.
Rastamana has a beach bar, and he would cook fresh seafood.
Yeah.
So you actually got to experience the culture.
We totally got to experience. And so the bar we were at, he introduced us to a guy that took us out on a boat for a boat trip. It was his uncle that had the restaurant that we ate breakfast at. Probably 5 out of the 8 days we were there.
And he used to go on the boat with his uncle fishing, and that's where he learned. And the fishing trade is kind of, like a lot of the Caribbean. It's not as lucrative as it used to be, so now a lot of these former fishermen are doing tours with their boats. So they're taking you to Pelican Bar, Black River, something like that.
See, I love that, because there is a place and time for, the hotel chains and the different all-inclusives and everything. But when I travel, once I've already been to somewhere, that's my thing, is I like to kind of immerse myself into the culture, get to know the locals, stay in a B&B or stay in an area near the town and get to really know the neighborhood and feel like a part of the community.
And that was
It's the best way to get immersed into the whole culture and everything. Yeah.
Well, and in fact, what was it? 3 or 4 days in, we went out for dinner, I think, on the beach. Came back, and our son realized he didn't have his phone. We're like, oh, great, great. So we called it. We found a guy. We got the phone returned to us the next day. He was like, I'll meet you on this road. Come see me. And had our son's phone. So it's just that it was just a really great kind of communal place.
Well, and he made a point of saying he didn't want anything for it. He just wanted to return the phone to the rightful owner. And it's just based on Jamaica's reputation, you wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
And it's how certain areas of the island kind of ruin everyone's perception.
Right.
But the people are warm, they're welcoming, they're like anybody trying to make a living,
I think in a way, and I've been to Cozumel and Cancun and all, and when we get to talk to the people who were at the hotels and resorts, they always warned you, don't go there, don't. And you could see it in their face that they almost were embarrassed that this is the first representation they get of their country. People you're warned right at the airport.
Well, you
don't
always
let
hear about
anyone,
the bad stuff, no matter what. 800 cruises go out every day, and yet one cruise has a bad experience, and then it's like, oh, every cruise
Or
must
it's
be
what
like
I've
that.
told people. So we go to the nightclubs in Jamaica, and so we've met people on vacation, and we're like, hey, we're going into town. Like, we'll meet them on. We're like, if you want to go to the nightclubs, come with us. Like, here's some great live bands on the beach. And like, we heard it's not safe to leave the resort. And I said, well, back home, would you go down a dark alley back home? Well, no. Well, don't do that here. Like,
Exactly.
use your common sense. Don't do anything here you wouldn't be in the city, do in the city of Chicago.
And that's and you hear about Chicago. People hear, oh, this shooting and this shooting and this shooting. I go to Chicago. I never worry.
We were just in
I'm hanging
Chicago.
out in areas where I really need to
what
worry.
people from Jamaica who watch the
Exactly.
news and see
Same
what's
thing.
going on in Chicago. They're
Exactly.
like,
Same
why
thing.
would I want to go to the United States? There's people getting killed,
Right.
killed in Chicago.
Exactly.
It's the same thing there. Kingston, Montego Bay are both urban areas. They can have dangerous
Areas.
areas. Yeah, but again, it's not systemic. It's not the whole.
No, it's
Right.
not the whole community.
And certainly if you go to Negril or quieter parts of the island, it's a completely different experience.
Well, with that, I think we're going to have to start wrapping up the show here.
All right.
But, I can't tell you we appreciate you guys coming on,
Yes,
and
thank
I
you so much.
got to tell you we appreciate you guys letting us do the show here. It's great.
We thank you for
Been a-
having this amazing place right here in Griffith where people
Thank
can
you.
come and
Appreciate it.
experience great beer, great camaraderie, great food, great atmosphere. It's just awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys as well. We're so glad you do this here. Thank you.
Well, you've got one of our mugs up on the thing.
Yeah,
so
we gave
you
Sam
ever
a
come
mug,
to
so-
Wildrose Brewery, you can see one of our mugs up on
That's
the.
right.
So we feel important that they put our mug up there. So with that, thanks again. And again, this has been David and Karen DeJong, and they're one of the partners of the Wildrose Brewing Company here in Griffith, Indiana. And with that, we'd like to wish you all a safe week and a weekend. Goodbye for now.